Good evening, everybody. Hi, it's Dana with Imagination Paint. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. We're going to be doing praise painting tonight. Who is on here? I would love to know if you are going to be painting with me tonight. Let me know if you're watching, where you're watching from, and just kind of let me know that you're on. Make sure that you click the link to connect to StreamYard so I can see your comments. I would love to give everybody just a second to start hopping on. This is going to be so much fun, y'all. So I don't know if any of you have done praise painting with me before or not, but if not, I'm so excited about this, y'all. Like, praise painting is something that the Lord kind of gave to me. I really wanted a way to minister to others through my painting, and I wanted something to be kind of like different, sort of like a little bit of a sermon, but like exercise, where you could be in with it, but something that gives you a reflection while you're creating at the same time. So I'm so excited that you're on painting this with me tonight. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm excited to see everybody's creations. So again, let me know in the comments when you're on, and make sure that you click the link for StreamYard so that I can see your comments. I definitely want to make sure that I get to talk with y'all tonight. So just be sure that you accept the comment notification so that we can chat a little bit while we're painting. I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. And I also want to encourage you guys too. I don't know if you've ever been to one of my paint parties or not, but if not, I want you to know I don't have rules. I don't like rules when it comes to being creative. And so I just want you to let loose, have fun, and just really focus on enjoying yourself. Because if you are thinking about how it looks, you're really not focusing on the right thing. Honestly, don't really even focus, okay? Just have fun. Just enjoy yourself. That's all about. And it's just about like freedom and feeling good and finding joy and peace and healing. And so that's really what I want this experience to be for everybody. So just make sure that you are giving yourself grace, and don't like sit there and worry about if it's, a spectacular masterpiece or anything. It does not need to be. So make sure that y'all comment and hop on, and give everybody just a couple of minutes so that we can get started here in just a second. And I want to tell everybody a little bit about myself before we get into it. My name is Dana, and I am the owner of Imagination Paint. I love to use my business as a ministry to inspire and help women. And my goal is to help women to heal through art so they can step into their purpose. I feel like I am an aspiring Christian creative coach. And so that's something that I am in the process of awards. And I'm so excited to just get to work with different people and meet some different women, just play a role in their journey. And so I'm so excited that you're here with me tonight. Thank you for hopping on and being here. Let me know if you're watching in the comments. I definitely want to say hey to you. And we're going to get started. Let me know if you're painting along with me. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you are just here to kind of hang out and chat, if you've got your favorite fall drink. I want to hear from you. So y'all definitely let me know what y'all got going on tonight. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm so ready for the fall. So I am so over the heat. I'm over the hot weather. I'm ready for cool and all things pumpkin. So that's something I'm super excited about. I don't know if you've already traced out your design or not. I'm going to just be painting on like a small piece of scrap wood that I found. It's pretty thin. I didn't really want to have to worry about whether it was canvas and stuff. Let me see if I can switch my screen over real quick, y'all. Hold on just a second. I know that there's some way to flip my screen. Yay, it worked. Okay. All right, let's try this. Y'all can see right now. Hooray. Okay, I got my screen flipped. Y'all are good. Okay, so let's get everything going. So who all is on watching now? I'm so excited to talk to y'all throughout the process. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know if you got your paintbrushes ready. Let me know what y'all are listening to. If you need a good worship music playlist, you can always go to my YouTube channel. I've got worship music and a playlist on there. I love listening to worship music while I'm painting. And so that is definitely my go-to when I'm in my art studio room. I have to listen to my music. It kind of just gets me in my zone and it just helps me to focus and just enjoy my time with God. So, well, before we start painting, I want to do like a little activity with you guys. So, like I said a few minutes ago, I don't know if y'all already traced out your design or not on your canvas or on your wood or, whatever it is that you're painting on. You can paint on a piece of paper. It doesn't matter. Just grab whatever you've got laying around the house. And I want you guys to take this and get a pencil. And we're going to write a few things down on our canvas. So what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to write is I want you to think about what your weaknesses are. So write down what you feel like your weaknesses are for me. Okay, so write down your weaknesses. What do you feel like is that's holding you back? So if you need to think about this for just a second, go on and write that down. What's something that you feel like has probably always been holding you back? Like one thing, it's like every time you try to go move forward into something and you're trying to like get to the next step, what do you feel like is holding you back? So for me, I'm putting balance because I feel like I have a really hard time balancing my life. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that or not, but I feel like I'm doing a lot of things. And so especially if you're a mom and you've got kids, it may be a lot harder. You're married, you've got multiple roles that you're trying to play. Balance is a big thing for me. That's one thing that I feel like is holding me back. And so if you're one of those people who has a hard time with balancing, we've got to learn how to delegate. And sometimes we have to learn how to make choices and choose what we're doing. The other thing that I want you to do is to write down what is a misconception that you have about yourself. So what's something that you tell yourself, but you know it isn't true? All right, so we're going to go on and write that down. And for mine, I'm writing down unqualified. I think a lot of times the big thing that we keep hearing back in our mind is that we're not qualified. We're not qualified to do what it is that we're supposed to be doing, what God put us on here in the first place. We don't feel qualified to do it. So that's like the perfect opportunity for the enemy to come and confuse us, right? So unqualified, that's something that I feel. The next thing I want you to do is write down something painful that you've gone through in your life. For me, I've had several losses in my life. I've dealt with some losses, and I'll go into that here in just a little bit, but that's kind of been one of the big things that I've dealt with. And also write down what's something that you want to improve on. So I'm putting down time management because I definitely want to improve on my time management and my balance, kind of like what I was talking about a few minutes ago. Things where, you need to improve. Now, write down some of your goals. So let's write down some goals. Awesome. All right. Goals. So for my goals, I write down creative Christian coach. There's a really awesome program that I want to take for motivational speaking and coaching. And so that's one of my goals, is to take that course. And the last thing that I want you to write down is up to 3 of your big dreams. Now, when I say dreams, I want you to write down the biggest ones, like the ones you're actually kind of scared to write down. Because if they're not scaring you at all, then they're not big enough. All right. So what's something that you really can't even wrap your mind around happening? Those are the dreams that I want you to put down. So write down up to 3 of those dreams. So my first dream is to travel the world. I have lots of bucket list places. And another one of my really big goals is to get my grandparents' lake house back. My grandparents had this lake house when I was growing up, and it has some of my most treasured favorite childhood memories there. And it's always been one of my dreams to get it back. I have no idea how that would happen, but that is definitely one of my scary dreams. So that's definitely on there. And then the last thing I would say would be to speak at Elevation Church. So that'll probably never happen, right? But who knows? That's one of my crazy dreams. Hopefully that'll be after I have my motivational speaking classes. I'm so excited about that though, you guys. Y'all, the reason I wanted you to write down these things is because I don't feel like we really take the time to think about these things. And sometimes we overthink some of these things, but to really think about it collectively, I wanted to just take a minute to kind of reflect and like really think about what all you have inside of you. And all of this is like mixed emotion stuff. Some of these things are like the most amazing things in the world to think about. Some of these things are a little bit more difficult to think about. And so you really have to kind of embrace all of it together because it's all just kind of a package deal. And I want you to just kind of reflect on these things tonight as we start painting. So we're gonna, and if anybody wants to share what they wrote in the comments, I'd love to hear what you guys thought and what are some of the things that you wrote down. And share, because I definitely would love to hear from you guys. Let me check and see if we've got any comments or anything. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep it on this too, just in case. So yeah, guys. So let's go on and kind of dive in. And I just want to give you an opportunity to just pour all of this out on the table tonight. Pour it into your painting. When you're thinking about this, put it in your painting. Feel each thing that you wrote down as you make each stroke. And just, if you're thinking about how it looks, like I said, then you're focusing on the wrong thing. This is about how this makes you feel. And this is about allowing yourself to be raw and vulnerable. And so to deal with all the things that you've been holding on to for so long, you've just got to be able to turn on your worship music and ugly cry sometimes. I mean, sometimes I have to do that myself. And I know we hate to cry. Usually we don't want to like show emotion. We feel like we have to be strong for everybody, but sometimes that's just what we need to do. And it's not something we should be ashamed of, and it's not something that we should feel discouraged about doing. It's actually something that God encourages us to do. He counts our tears. He holds them in a jar. And so anything that you're feeling right now, you know, this has always been my outlet. And I just think that it's awesome that it can be yours too. And I want to show people how to do that and how it's helped me. So we're just going to go on and get started, y'all. And like I said, be creative. There's no rules. Use any colors that you want to. You've got the tracers available in the group or in your email if you signed up for it. And then if not, freehand. Nobody cares. Like, just do your thing. Just have fun. Explore your creativity. We're just here to enjoy yourselves. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. We're just going to have fun. And I'm just going to get started with mine. I'm going to do like this pretty metallic turquoise color. So y'all let me know in the comments what colors y'all are using. And if you haven't clicked the link for StreamYard yet to where you can leave comments, then make sure you do that so that we can chat, because I'd love to hear from you guys. If you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. And I'm just going to start painting, you guys. I'm just going to go right over top of it. And I'm doing mine on a little piece of wood that I found. I didn't even have any more of like my 11 by 14 canvas. So I just went in my closet and I was like, let me get some of this wood right here. Just scrap wood. It's just kind of sitting in there. So go find something that's just sitting around your house. It could be a piece of furniture, like literally anything. Piece of paper. It does not matter. Just come paint because it's fun. And so I'm just going to I just got like my chip brush, and that's just nice to help like paint with larger surfaces. So that's kind of what I'm doing with mine real quick, just to give it a coat. And I might have to go over it with a different color, I'm thinking. So you guys, I have exciting news. I am excited to announce that the doors are open for my Paint and Persevere Club. You guys, if y'all have not looked into that before, you definitely need to go check it out. I'm so excited. The doors are only open for a limited amount of time. And this is the last time I'm offering it at the current price, which is $19 a month. And so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about that towards the end. But I wanted to let you guys know, if you haven't checked it out already, go check it out. You need to. It's so much fun. We'd love to have you in our group. And we are going to do stuff like this on a regular basis. So go make sure that you check out the Paint and Persevere Club while it's open. And you can officially sign up now. So I'm going to put the link in the comments, and y'all are welcome to go check it out while we're doing our painting tonight. And I'll go over all the info at the end and answer any questions anybody has. So I'm going to go on and just kind of add a couple of different blues in here because I think I need some extra layers with this metallic thing I've got going on. It's not quite as thick as I was thinking it was going to be. So y'all let me know what y'all are up to tonight. Let me know what you're painting, which design you decided to go with, or if you're doing something on your own. I want to hear from y'all. Let me know where you're watching from. Put it in the comments. Get a little bit of water on here. This is so relaxing, y'all. Like, when was the last time? And I know some of y'all are creatives and y'all do this stuff all the time, but if you're not, tell me when the last time that you painted was. Because before I started doing this as my business, I did not do it. And I really needed to. That's part of my story. That's part of my journey. Like when I was in high school, oh, there's a little something on my, what? Okay. Yeah. When I was in high school, I dealt with depression. I dealt with anxiety. I had a lot of things that I went through that even a couple of traumatic things that I went through. And I just had a really hard time. I had low self-esteem. I didn't feel good about myself. And I had no idea who I was. And I think for every teenager, I'm sure it's, a really confusing time anyways. And nobody knows who they are when they're that young. But, for some, it can be harder than for others. And by no means, was it the worst off, but I definitely went through some things and can definitely relate to anxiety and depression. And so my favorite class in high school was art. And it was in there that I learned how to paint. And I learned that I loved to paint. And I loved just being creative. And it brought me so much joy. And so I remember, every day that I would go into my art class, I would go in there and I'd sit down and I'd put on my headphones and turn up my music. And I would just sit in there and paint. And that's what I did. That was my high school detox. And so that is how I coped a lot of times. And so, hey, Rosie. Okay, so I just went over top of it, but I am painting on a piece of wood tonight, and I've got my design trace under it, so it's probably going to show up a little bit better when it dries. And so I'm going to show that to you all as I go. But yeah, I'm painting with did you get the tracers that I had sent out? Because you can get the tracer in my group or in your email if you signed up for it. And the tracers are in there if you want to use a tracer. Otherwise, get creative and just do your own thing. Like, do what makes you happy. There's no rules. Let me know who's watching tonight. I want to talk to you guys while we're doing this. It makes it so much more fun. So has anybody else dealt with like depression and anxiety and stuff like that? And if so, what are like some things that you do to help cope with those situations? Like, do you do painting? Do you draw? Do you do Bible journaling? Do you do music? Like, what is your go-to for de-stressing and for peace and joy and all of that stuff? Because when I wasn't doing paint parties, I really painted, and that was something that I did a lot. Like in high school and right after high school, I kept painting some. And then, you get into your adult years and you start adulting and you just kind of forget, like, oh, hey, I need to take time out for myself and, do something for myself that I enjoy. And we lose ourselves when we start adulting, y'all, like, especially, and then when you become a mom and you're a wife and other people are dependent on you, oh my gosh, like, it's draining. It's a blessing, but it is also very draining if you aren't filling your cup and putting something back in yourself. And so that's what I love so much about this. And even with just my paint parties, like being able to go and spend time with, women and like, here, come and paint with me for like 2 hours, and they leave after a couple of hours and have had so much fun, and they just really needed that break and that like time to just relax and have fun with the girls. And so I love my job. I mean, it's the coolest job ever. And if you had asked me if I ever thought that I would be working to help women paint and have fun, not in a million years would I guess. Not ever. And it's so cool how God works things out. And so that is one of my favorite things about this. And I love meeting all of these new women through doing this and building relationships and friendships. And that's what it's all about, you guys. We're not meant to, stay in a shell or in a bubble. We're meant to go out and like shine our light for Jesus and encourage one another and just be happy and help others to be happy. And, it's hard to do that if you're not like shining your light and you're not using your spiritual gifts and, using what God gave you and created you to do. If you're not doing those things, then you're not going to feel very fulfilled. And so I say that because I was one of those people, and it took me a very long time to figure it out and figure out what I was supposed to be doing. And so now I'm finally on the right track, and I know that the Lord wants me to help other people and encourage other people. And at the end of the day, all of our ultimate purpose is to serve God and help others and to lead others to the Lord. And so that's the ultimate goal. But a lot of us are just like, well, how do we do that? How do we get there? And that is what I'm passionate about, helping people to figure out. And so I'm excited that y'all are here and just painting with me. And I love this activity because it gets you to just really reflect on several different aspects of your life and what you've gone through. But it also helps you to think about what you have to look forward to as well. And so that's kind of like the point of this whole experience right now, is to just reflect, but also to look forward. I know a lot of times if we get stuck, like we're stuck in our past, and I've been stuck in my past a lot. I mean, a lot. And when you can't let go of something, it's hard to move forward. And it takes years and years and years sometimes to work through everything that you're holding on to and all the stuff that you're stuck in. And all that's doing is just chipping away at the time that we have to, do what God's called us to do. And so that's why it's so important for us to learn how to deal with the stuff that we've had happen and give it over to the Lord and move forward into our purpose. And so I'm excited to help women do that. Hi, I'm not sure who said hey to me, but hi. Make sure y'all click the link in the comments so that you can, I can see who y'all are when you're commenting. I definitely want to hear from y'all. I want to talk to y'all. Let me know where y'all are watching from. So does anybody have any, can y'all relate to this at all? Do y'all feel like y'all have, ever been trying to figure out what is it that I'm supposed to be doing with my life? Or, you feel lost, or you just feel kind of stuck, or like you're standing still. Hey, I don't know what God wants me to be doing right now, but I mean, I have been that person so many times, you guys, and it's hard because you really feel like you're stuck and you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, and you're questioning God, and then you're like, well, sometimes we even question our faith. Things like that make us question our faith and our belief, and you just got to get to a point where you can, you've got to be able to figure out who you are and be confident and trust him and just know this is who I am. And y'all, I'm going to tell you right now, those of you who are in the book study, y'all comment if y'all were in the book study, okay? This book was awesome. We just finished our book study today. So we've been reading this since the middle of July in our group. You guys, let me tell you something. Go get this book. If you need a link, let me know in the comments. I'll go back through after this is over and I'll send you the link to get it. It is so, so, so good. It's so good. Everybody on the face of the planet needs to go read this book. I'm just saying. It's called Define Who God Says You Are. Because I don't know about y'all, but I think there is a huge identity crisis going on in our world today. Even when I felt I pretty much had a good idea of who I was. I read that book. Oh my goodness, it's going to make you think on a deeper level. It's going to make you think about things that you haven't even really thought about before. And it's eye-opening. Even things, there's a lot of things in there that you maybe thought about on surface level, but that was pretty much it. You start reading it and you're like, oh. And then it's telling you things that you didn't really ever understand or things that you never really thought about. So it is really a good book. Y'all have got to go read that. All right, I think this is finally starting to dry enough to where, hold on, I'm going to get my paper towels. I've been having to let it set for just a second so it can dry enough. So yeah, if y'all if y'all go back over the tracing that you did, if you traced it, you can go back through with a Sharpie and go outline it. And so once you do a layer of paint and it dries, you can still see the lines through the paint. If you do it super thick, you're not going to be able to. But that's why I like to kind of outline my stuff with a Sharpie, just because it helps you to be able to see it better. And I might even like use some of my little paint pens for this. Some people don't like to always go through and like letter with your paintbrush. That's totally okay. If you've got like a Posca pen or a paint pen, go for it. Just use something that you're going to enjoy. Remember, this is all about how this makes you feel. So use any colors you want to, get creative, paint like something crazy on it. It does not matter, just as long as you have fun. That's all that matters. So I'm just going back over to, whoops, I'm about to dip in my drinking water, y'all. Paint water. You don't want to drink paint water. That's not going to be good. Okay, so I'm just going back over this with a little bit of that metallic since I got those underlined colors under there. And I'm just doing a little thin layer of that under here. So a little bit about my story and what got me to this point, because everybody's got a story, right? And I'm a firm believer that your story matters. Like, I know it does. Your story is so much more important than you could ever imagine. And I say that because somebody else out there needs your story. So really, it's a matter of whether we are brave enough to tell it. And my story, I told you earlier that I've dealt a lot with loss. And my first big loss was in my early 20s. I had a childhood friend that I'd grown up with. It was like one of my best friends in the whole world. And he was killed in a car accident. And so that was my first major loss. And it took me a really long time to work through that. And I questioned my faith. I went through all of the, anger and the depression, the anxiety. And, especially when you're younger, I think we are already vulnerable. And so we're already like trying to figure stuff out. But then something like that happens and it makes you kind of question it even more. And so it was definitely a test of faith. The next thing that happened was in 2015, my husband and I, we had been trying to have kids for several years, and we finally had gotten pregnant. And then the weekend before we went to go get our first ultrasound, I found out that we had a miscarriage. And so that was really a tough pill to swallow, y'all. And I'm sure a lot of y'all have probably even experienced that. I know miscarriages can actually be really common. That was something that we didn't even realize. When we went, they were talking about I think 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 people go through miscarriages. And so it felt really, really lonely. Grief is such a lonely feeling. I know there's a lot of people out there who know what that's like. And I think what helped me through that time was hearing stories from so many other people. And it goes back to saying, what I said about your story is important. It is, because people need to know that you can relate to them, right? And so it was those stories that helped me to push through. We ended up having another miscarriage right at the beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. And of course, I knew. I was like, okay, well, this is happening again. I can't let myself get back into another depression. So naturally, where does my mind go to? What's the one thing that brings me joy? Painting. okay, so what am I going to do to guarantee that I'm going to paint all the time? Well, let's just start a business with it because, that'll help, help make sure that I'm doing it on a regular basis. And why not try to make a little bit of money doing it too? So, right? Bless Lord. Yes. Yeah. So it was definitely God ordained when he gave this to me. At the time he gave this to me, because little did I know, like 2 months later, the whole country, the whole world was going to shut down. And so, wild, right? It's like his timing is so on purpose and so perfect when he does things. And it's so crazy because ever since that happened, as difficult as it was for us to go through that second miscarriage, I've also had a lot of peace with it, because I feel like I probably wouldn't even be doing this if it weren't for that. And so, oh, my husband was telling me bye. And so it was a huge, huge blessing. And wow, like, look what has come from it. God uses all things for good. He turns beauty from ashes. He turns, like, everything has a purpose, even if it's horrible, if it's the most awful thing that you've gone through in your entire life. He's going to do something good with it. And so that's what I've learned from this experience. And I think that that's just something that I'm supposed to tell everybody. He wants me to share this with you guys. And you can share your story with other people too. Be encouraged. Y'all, when I was in high school, I never thought that I would be the person to speak in front of people. I'm still having a hard time adjusting to it. But he's using me, guys, and finally I have the confidence to get out of my comfort zone and just go for it and just help people and encourage other people. And that's what I want to do. Like, it literally fuels my fire. I love waking up every day and just going and finding, like, who can I encourage today? It gives me life. I feel so happy. And I feel like everybody deserves to feel that. I feel like everybody deserves to feel joy and happiness. And a lot of that comes from just really growing in your relationship with God and really being able to dig in and, like, learn who you are and figure out what it is that he created you to do. And once you can say that you have started doing that, then you can start dealing with all the stuff that you've been dealing with from the past, and you can start moving forward into your purpose. But it's all a process, and it all works together. It's like puzzle pieces, really. It's been a puzzle piece for me. And it's so crazy because I've also learned, y'all tell me in the comments too, if any of you felt like this, like you feel like you've just done so many different things in your life and you're just like, oh, it's just another thing that I'm supposed to be doing. And you felt, frustrated or lost. Like, this is so annoying because I don't think I'm doing, like, what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. That's me. That was me. Yep. And be encouraged, because if he can do that for me, he can do it for you too. And I want you to know that all of those little places that he's had you put in has been for a reason, whether it was something that he wanted you to learn in that moment in time, whether it was a skill, whether it was a person that you needed to meet and to learn something from. All of those things come into play. He might not have had you in there for, a long extended period of time. He might have just had you in those things for a season, but there was definitely a reason for it. So try to learn how to shift your mindset and your perspective on those things, because he's got you in those things for a reason, and not, just to sit there and frustrate you and waste your time. It was all on purpose. And so y'all have got to be encouraged by that. Sorry, I'm supposed to be sharing all this stuff with you guys. He's just was like, tell him this. So I'm telling y'all, okay? But it's just been so many different breakthrough moments in my life. And I'm just excited to finally start sharing that with other people and with other women. And so that is why I am opening the doors back up to my Paint and Persevere Club, because I want to grow our group. And I'm going to share with y'all a little bit more about that here in just a little bit. But Paint and Persevere Club is basically where we're have a group of like-minded Christian women who are creative and enjoy sisterhood and just getting together and like painting and being creative together on a regular basis. And we're going to work on spiritual growth together. We're going to work on healing together through art and encourage one another and build friendships, and then just help each other to walk into our purpose, because that is at the end of the day like what we're all supposed to do. And I definitely want to be the person to help make an impact. And I'm all about legacy, and I'm all about like, what is it that you're leaving behind? And I can tell you one thing: when I'm leaving this world, I want to be able to say I did everything that I could to make an impact on somebody's life. Even if it's one person, I'd love to help a whole lot more than that. But if it's one person and, the Lord gave it to me and that's who he sent me to work with, I'll take it. I want to work with those people though. And so that's why I'm so passionate about it. And I can't wait to just grow this awesome group of women and just build each other up, help you to step into your purpose, help you move forward. We've all got baggage from our past that we've got to get rid of. And we need help to do that. We can't really do stuff by ourselves. Sometimes we just need others to listen. Sometimes we need to be encouraged. Sometimes something that somebody else says is just they say it the way that we need to hear it. Isn't that crazy? Because somebody else can say the exact same thing, but yet you don't get it the way unless somebody else says it to you. It's weird how that works, right? It's so crazy. But there's been so many aha moments that I've had where people have done that. And then like, I'll go back and I'll tell my husband, he's like, I told you that like the other day, right? It's like, we hear it all the time, but then sometimes like people just say it in a way that just makes sense to you, and you get it and you finally click. And so that's why I'm so excited about this group and just building it and growing it, because I really want it to be all about God, and I want it to be God-centered and, Jesus focused, and what it is that we're going to be doing, not just to grow spiritually, but, in our faith and, personally, and help each other to do the same thing. And we've all got a purpose. We just need some help doing it sometimes and figuring out what that is. And so that's where this Paint and Persevere Club thing's coming in, y'all. So make sure you guys check it out. I would love to have y'all in there. It's literally only $19 a month. That's like 2 meals at McDonald's nowadays. So you really can't get, much for $20 anymore. So spiritual growth, community, friendship, consistent paint classes every month. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So let me see. I think this is finally dry enough for me to color on now. I'm going to use some of my, let's see, this is black. No, it's not. Hold on. Oh, that's not black. Did I miss my thing, y'all? I don't know what I'm doing. I thought I had a black marker, but I can't find it. Oh, well. I'm just going to use a marker. I'm getting distracted. So, I'm going to put it back on my comment show. Okay. So I'm just going to use like a little paint marker for this part. It's just easier to outline everything instead of trying to go through and paint it with a liner brush. If you want to do that with your liner brush, you're more than welcome to. sitting here shaking them up all the time. I don't know what color this is. So yeah, feeling lost, that was definitely something that I went through, like feeling lost in my life, not knowing what I was supposed to be doing. And I did that for a long time, and I felt very frustrated, and I felt like everybody else was frustrated with me, and that makes it even harder, which kind of goes into the next thing that I want to say about. A lot of us are living to please everybody else. Can I get an amen from the sisters in the back? Oh, y'all. Why are we so focused on trying to please everybody else? Read this book, Defined, y'all. Read it seriously. Go get this book. It talks so much about that. We don't have anything to prove to anybody except for God, but yet we're trying to prove ourselves to everybody else except Him. So no wonder we're not happy. No wonder we're depressed, because we're going to disappoint other people all the time, and other people are going to disappoint us all the time. We're imperfect. We can't please everybody. There's no way possible. So instead of trying to live for and please imperfect people, we've got to shift our focus and start trying to live for the one who created us in the first place. And He wants us to be happy, and He wants us to have joy. But in order to do that, we've got to stop living for ourselves and for other people. Because once you start living for God and you really truly give your life over to Him, that's when all the breakthrough happens. So that's when you start seeing the differences, right? I know that one of, so going back to 2020, hardest year for like the entire world, right? I had been praying for a breakthrough, and I'll never forget this because this was kind of like a pivotal moment for me. But New Year's Eve of 2020, before we had found out we had the miscarriage, we had decided to, for the first time, turn on church for New Year's Eve and watch church for New Year's Eve. And I remember we were sitting in my in-laws' basement. We didn't have some party to go to. And we were sitting there and we're like, okay, well, we're just going to have a nice quiet night here at home. And we're going to watch church for the first time ever on New Year's Eve. Like, you would think that would be boring, right? Well, wrong. We both agreed that was the best New Year's Eve that we had ever had in our lives. Watching church. And it was so, I had the most encouraging feeling afterwards. I felt so encouraged and I felt so uplifted. And I didn't even know that a miscarriage was coming here, like, in, the next week or two. I had no idea. So we're sitting there watching church in the basement, sipping on our sparkling grape juice. And we're watching church and we're like doing something that we had never done before. And I prayed for a breakthrough that night. And I remember feeling uplifted after the service. And y'all, we had a miscarriage a week or two later. I started my paint party business. Soon as I started my paint party business, we went into lockdown for COVID. I didn't even get to have an in-person paint party before COVID hit. So the only thing that I knew for that whole first year was talking to people online. But that was my first experience, and I prayed for breakthrough. And even though it was the year that it was, my husband and I both swear to this day that 2020 was like the best year for us personally, just because God showed up and gave us the breakthroughs that we had prayed for. There were several other things that happened, and I know a lot of people can't say that about that year. And my heart absolutely goes out to those people who lost anybody or went through anything traumatic with that. But it just goes to show, like, perspective is a lot. And God can take awful and turn something into something good, including miscarriage and loss, including a pandemic. And we've just got to be willing to look at things differently and give things over to Him, and just stop trying to look at the world through a lens of flesh and look at it through a lens of the Spirit. Because once we can start doing that, that's when we see all the changes take place, and He's just absolutely going to change your life. You will just notice things are different. You'll be able to handle things differently. You'll be able to cope with things differently in a way that you weren't ever able to before. And it's all because you're just learning how to put your trust in Him and just grow your faith and grow your relationship. And it all goes hand in hand. It works all together. Y'all, this paint marker is wonky. I don't know what this thing is doing, but it is like, I might need to go over it with a brush. Y'all, I ain't even going to show this to nobody. Good thing that there aren't any rules and that this isn't meant to be a masterpiece, because y'all... Anybody else feeling that? Definitely not my best work. I'm going to have to go back and do some stuff after this. But hey, we're having fun though, right? It's all about having fun. Doing something for yourself and taking that time that you need. Because I don't think we do that near enough. I think once we get to adulting, we just get so focused on like what we got to get done and who needs us to take care of who. And we forget to take care of ourselves. We forget. We just don't do it. And it's so important. Like mental health, y'all, we've got to stay right. If you don't take a little bit of time out of your week to just do something to just detox mentally and spiritually, you're going to be in a rough shape. And so I love that we get to do that with Paint and Persevere Club and come together and just have fun with each other every single month. And each week we've got something going on, and we can stay focused on Christ together. Anytime you're trying to work towards a goal, you really just need that accountability and that encouragement. So it's so important to just try to make growth changes with a group of other people who are trying to do the same thing. So that is what I am about, y'all. I love doing stuff with a friend. I don't like doing things by myself. I don't stick with it if I do that. we've got to have that support. We've got to have support. We've got to have encouragement. Let's see. I think my paint's still too wet or something. This stuff, I've got marker all over my arm. Y'all, I'm going to be taking a shower after this. I am a mess. Oh my gosh. This is like, so awful looking. Look, I don't ever tell anybody that stuff at my paint parties. I'm like, but then when it comes to my own stuff, why do we do that? Why do we do that? Every time we're so great at encouraging other people, but then when it comes time to encouraging ourselves, it is hard. That's something that the Lord has been working on me with. I'm telling you right now, it's not easy, but I am very proud of myself. I've been learning to do that. That's something else that we got to learn how to do. We got to work on encouraging ourselves and being our own cheerleader and changing the way that we speak to ourselves and talking, because the way that we speak to ourselves is just vital. We're either going to speak in a way that kills us, or we're going to speak in a way that gives us life. So that's why it's so important for us to be in tune with the Spirit, so that we can speak the Spirit right back into us. We've got to be able to speak wisely and with discernment and praise. We've got to learn how to give ourselves grace. That was one thing I really loved about this book that we read, was that it really went into depth about grace and what God's grace looked like. And it was a lot of really awesome points in there that I never really even thought of. And I'm really excited because starting in October, if y'all read that book with me, or if y'all are reading the book or trying to read the book, we're going to actually dive deeper into it with a Bible study in Paint and Persevere Club. So we're going to be doing that in October. So that's another really exciting thing we've got to look forward to, is just diving deeper into that book with a Bible study. So it's going to be called Defined, the Bible Study. And we're going to do that started in October. I figure we'd give everybody a little bit of a break and time to get like the workbook and stuff for it. And so I didn't want to like put a super big rush on that. We've got a lot of things coming up in September. And so I just wanted everybody to have time to like get the supplies and stuff for it. But it's going to be really awesome. And I am so excited about diving deeper into that with everybody. It's going to be powerful. Like, if we thought that the book was powerful, I can't imagine what the Bible study is going to be like. It's going to be pretty amazing. I'm convinced. I know it will be. And I love that we can do it in a more intimate group setting and just have like conversation and discussion about it. It just makes it more fun. Y'all, this is so relaxing. I know this doesn't look that great, but I love sitting here, just drawing lines. It's just so much fun. Like, you just take a load of stress off and just detox from your crazy day with a little bit of praise painting. Reflect on God and what He has been trying to tell you and teach you. This is another great opportunity for us to just sit, like when we're in our art studio or in our art room or just wherever our creative space is, we can just sit here, whether we're listening to worship music or whether we're just letting things be quiet. Sometimes we just need to let it be quiet. We can just kind of like sit still and just listen and see what God's trying to tell us. It's so hard to do that now. We've always got somewhere to go, something to do, someplace to be. But I love that we can learn how to be intentional about taking time out for ourselves and just growing spiritually with the Lord and making friends who will help and support us. All right, y'all, this looks terrible. I'm not done, but it's enough for you to see. So this definitely needs more work done to it. But this is just an example of what we can do. And I wanted to share a little bit with you guys before, while we're wrapping things up. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Paint and Persevere Club in a few minutes too. If anybody has questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions that y'all have. But before we go into that, I do want to share a little bit with you about while you're painting. So the thing I want you to think about is this. And when I came up with this idea, this is all stuff that the Lord told me to write down. So this is from him. And he told me when I was doing this and I was writing these things down on my canvas, he said, all of these things are part of you. Underneath your fear, your pain, and your doubt, underneath any shame, those things may still be in you. They may always be there, but God can use that. It's part of your story. It's part of your masterpiece. But despite it being part of you, God will still use it for good. He makes all things beautiful. The things that you wrote down before you started your painting, those things don't define who you are. These words do. Fearfully and wonderfully made. And when you started your painting, you couldn't see the full picture. But as you kept painting and as you kept growing, it started to come together more and more. And God sees the finished picture before you even start. He already knows what's going to happen before you even begin. You just have to trust him and you have to keep painting. You've got to keep going. Your picture is going to help somebody one day. And you don't think it can. And maybe you don't even like your picture, kind of like me. I don't like my picture right now. But that's okay. And you know why? Because someone else is going to have a picture that they don't like either. And they're going to feel like nobody else gets their picture. But guess what? You're going to come along and you're going to be the one that gets it. And that's when it's all going to make sense. You're going to have a better understanding of why God allowed you to go through the things that you've gone through. And you're going to realize that this is the opportunity that he's given you to make it beautiful. He wants to use you. He wants to use all of us. And we just have to make ourselves available and trust him. We've got to trust his process, not our own, because his way always works out better. And that's the thing that I've learned the hard way. I'm stubborn. I've been rebellious. When you finally learn how to submit to the Lord, everything falls in place. Things start to feel easier. Weight starts to be lifted. The burdens aren't so heavy. So it's learning how to submit and give those things over to God and say, here, Lord, I trust you. This is all yours. You can have this now. I'm done with it. I'm tired of trying to do things my own way. It's not worth it. I don't want to do this alone anymore. And as soon as you do that, you're going to feel peace. You're going to feel this peace come over you. And it's the Holy Spirit. He's going to give you peace like you've never felt before. And you're going to just know things are going to be okay. And that's when you can start to move. That's when you can start pushing forward. And once you start doing that and you start moving in faith and you're trusting Him, that's when you're going to see your breakthroughs. And that is when everything's going to change. And so I just wanted to share that with y'all tonight and just encourage you that it doesn't matter what you've gone through in your past. It doesn't matter how traumatic it has been. It doesn't matter how awful of things that you've done. God is big enough to forgive you. And He's given us all the free gift of grace. And one thing I remember feeling for a long time was, how can God forgive me when I can't even forgive myself? I can't forget what I've done. I can't forget about my past. But He's a whole lot stronger than I am. He's a lot stronger than you are. He can do anything. And if He can forgive me and He can have grace for me, He can forgive you and have grace for you too. And so I want you to be encouraged. The things that are on this canvas underneath this, it's still part of you, but it doesn't define who you are. And it's not all there is to you. Your mistakes don't define you. What you've done in the past doesn't define you. Because despite of all of those things, each and every single one of you, you're fearfully and wonderfully made by the Creator, by the ultimate Creator. And you're His masterpiece. Each one of us are. And so walk in faith. Know that He's forgiven all of us. He's given you grace. He has grace for you, and He wants to freely give it to you. All you got to do is reach your hands out and just accept it and receive it. And so, wow. I'm just so grateful that He's given this to me to share. And he's given it to you to share too. And we can all learn how to do that. And that is exactly what I want to help everybody do through my Paint and Persevere Club. And so if you really enjoyed this tonight, if you liked coming on and painting together, and you want to, work on just moving into that journey of growth and learning how to use your creativity to heal so that you can step further in your purpose, I would love nothing more than for y'all to come and just join me and just, it's going to be so fun. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited to just get to know people and make new friends, but I'm also excited to see the growth, because I've seen the growth within me the last several years, and He's still working on me, but He's given me an assignment and I'm ready to take it, y'all. So amen. So let's do it together. If you feel like you're ready to just start on this creative, faith-filled journey, and you want to walk into your purpose with a bunch of encouraging sisters, y'all come join me. Please come join me, because I think that God's trying to get me to build a Jesus army, and I want y'all to be in it. So let's build this Jesus army together, you guys. Let's go out and just shine His light and His love on everybody. We need it. We can set the example, and it all starts here. We've got to learn how to get through our own stuff, though, in order to get into that point. And so I just want to share that with you guys because that's what has helped me and that's how I've done it. So if y'all want to come and just join me and be encouraged on a regular and consistent basis and be creative together and just grow spiritually together, join the Peyton Persevere Club. Doors are officially open tonight. We would love, love, love to have you there. The link to join is in the comments. And you can absolutely go and sign up right now. So just a little bit of information about what we're going to be doing in the Paint and Persevere Club. We have weekly inspiration posts. So it could be either like something that I write out as a post, or it could be a video. But every week we're going to be starting the week off with inspiration, because especially on Mondays, we all need, something encouraging to us to go into the week. We've had this great weekend and we're having to start a whole nother week again. So we need to go into it with a positive mindset. And so that is the purpose of weekly inspiration. The other great thing about it is, again, it's a community of like-minded creative Christian women. And so when you've got friends who are all working towards the same goal, that helps a lot because it gives you accountability. It gives you encouragement, especially when you're down and having a bad day, or if you're feeling lost. I'm that person. I always need somebody to turn to. So just having that there for, that relationship and bonding atmosphere is super helpful. The other thing is that it's making you consistently take time to do something for yourself. So we're focused on doing something that brings you joy and peace and healing. Art is healing. This is my therapy, y'all. I've been doing it since high school. I figured it out. And then I stopped doing it for a long time, and I really was not very happy. So when I wasn't doing it, I was like, well, what is it that, I need to be doing to feel better? And it was painting. I need to be doing something for myself. So I love coming in my studio and sitting here and turning up my worship music and painting. And I am in the zone, y'all, when that happens. I'm telling you, it is like the best time ever. Because then I can just sit, aside from taking a shower. I don't know if y'all moms out there, if y'all are a mom, taking a shower is like your sacred time, because that's like the only time it's quiet, quiet. If shower time is interrupted, then I just don't even know what to say. But aside from shower time, art time is worship time, and it is it is sacred, y'all. So it is like your detox therapy. That's exactly what I love about it. And then another fun thing is when we can come together and learn from other creative people. I have so many artist friends. I've got other friends that I'm networking and connecting with who are really inspiring. And we're going to have a special guest every month. So it could be whether it is a, inspirational speaker, or another artist, or, crafter, whatever. We're going to do something with a special guest each month. The other thing that we're going to be doing is having a monthly paint night together. So we can all get together on Zoom and we can paint together. Sometimes it'll be freestyle where you can just kind of do your own thing. And then sometimes it might be something that I have tonight, like a tracer or something for you to do. We can all just paint the same thing. Hold on, y'all. My battery is acting like it's trying to die. Let me see where this is at. Oh, y'all, I gotta plug in my computer. Hold on. What did I do with my charger? Oh my gosh, y'all. I totally left my charger in the other room. I forgot I moved it. Okay, y'all, give me 2 minutes. For real, hold on just a second. Don't move, because my charger, I don't want my computer to die. Hold on. I'll be right back. I promise. Well, if that ain't embarrassing, then I don't know what is, y'all. Okay, let's move this stuff back here. Hold up. All right, I'm going to move this computer for a sec. Y'all, this is real life. Mom brain. Mom brain is a real thing. I definitely have it. So, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that intermission. Okay. We will now resume our regularly scheduled programming. Okay, so yeah, monthly paint night. So yeah, we might either have like something with a tracer where we can come and just paint the same thing together, or we might do freestyle. So there's some nights where I'm like, I don't care what you create. I just want you to have fun and explore your creativity. That's what I'm about. I love for people to explore their creativity. There's so many times where I have people come to me in my parties, they're like, I can't draw a stick person. That's fine. Like, practice, have fun with it, just see what you like, you know? And so that's what I'm all about. I just want us to have fun. It's going to be great because when you have fun, you feel good. Okay. So like, let's just focus on that. Like, focus on having fun and feeling good. The ultimate goal of this group is to persevere into your purpose. So I definitely have that goal of using all of these things together to help you step into your purpose. And we can help each other figure it out together and encourage one another and learn about spiritual gifts and just, oh my goodness, all the key things that is, involved in reaching your purpose. And then once you figure out what it is, you've got to learn how to put it into action, right? So Jesus Army, y'all, I'm telling you, Jesus Army, it's coming. Jesus Army is coming. Defined Bible Study. We're going to start the Defined Bible Study in October. So make sure that y'all are in there. If you want to take a bigger dive. I said that the wrong way, y'all. I'm talking too much. A bigger dive into the Defined book that we did for our book study. It's going to be a deeper dive into it from a biblical aspect. And so I'm really excited about us doing that together. And like I said earlier, your story can help others. And so just being able to learn how to share that with other people and dealing with the things that you have gone through in a safe place and in a safe environment, that is all, super helpful with Get Into Your Purpose. The other cool thing is that you're going to have free access to anytime like I do an online paint party, you're going to get free access to those if other people have to pay. Another thing is for any of my local people, if y'all come to any of my in-person paint parties, I also do a member exclusive discount for y'all for when you come to my paint parties. The only things that I don't do that for are like for things like fundraisers and stuff. I can't do fundraisers, but my regular paint parties, y'all have a discount, like a bigger discount than anybody else that gets a discount. And then also you get free access to my previous online paint parties that I've done. And that includes your supply list, your tracers, and tutorials. So y'all get like other playbacks and stuff for online tutorials that I've done before. Now, when you join the Paint and Persevere Club, it's only $19 a month. So it's just a recurring thing, and you can cancel at any time. If you decide, hey, this isn't for me, not a big deal. You can absolutely cancel at any time. And then if you, for some reason, decide, hey, I'm ready to join back again, you can come back at any time. We're not going to be like hating on you or anything for quitting. We will welcome you with open arms. We're so happy to like have you in the group, and we absolutely want you to be a part of it. And so it is $19 a month. This is the last time that I'm going to offer it at that price. So make sure if you want to get it at that price and grandfather yourself in at that price, that you go on and get started now. And then you're going to get some bonuses when you get started with the Paint and Persevere Club too. I have this really awesome Be Still porch cleaner tutorial. I don't know if y'all see my Be Still porch cleaner. I should have brought it over here and I didn't even think to do that, but you'll see it on the website. So I've got my Be Still porch cleaner tutorial. It gives you the supply list, the tracers, and the video tutorial for it. You get that for free. You also get the Recipe for Purpose download, and that is great for you to print out and like put it on your wall, or like stick it on in your Bible, or put it in your journal, or, you know, on your bathroom mirror, somewhere where you can see it constantly every day and remind yourself of these things. Like, this is my purpose. This is how I do that. Like, it's one of those things that's super powerful, but it's a great reminder and helps you to know exactly what you need to be doing. And that comes for free as a bonus with your membership. And then also, I have a surprise. I have not talked about this yet, but you will see on the website, I have an upcoming fall porch cleaner coming up. It has not been released yet. I'm still working on the tutorial and everything for it. But when you join the Paint and Persevere Club, you get that for free. It's going to be on sale for everyone else, and that is coming soon. So when you join Paint and Persevere Club, you're going to actually get the tracer as part of your download bonus. Okay, so y'all already have early access to the tracer, so y'all feel free to go on and get creative with it and do your own thing with it for the upcoming fall season. And then once I have the video tutorial and everything released, then I'm going to send that to y'all for free as well. So that's kind of a big deal because I'm going to be selling that. But if you join as a member for Paint and Persevere Club, you do get that for free. So that's 3 fun bonuses when you join. And like I said, not only that, it's just going to be so much fun having all of these women to just talk to and be encouraged by each other and just pray with and build relationships and friendships with, while we all work together towards just working into our purpose, y'all. It's going to be amazing. And I really think God is like going to do a lot through us. And I say that because I have seen him do a lot through me and helped me to change and grow. And so I know it's possible. And that's why I say all of these things to you with confidence, because I'm confident in him. And so it's all a matter of submission and just stepping into your calling, you guys. And he wants us to be happy. He wants us to have joy. And in order to do that, though, we've got to be willing to let go of all the worldly stuff. We've got to move past all of that because there's nothing there for us with that. We've got to get laser focused on him and what he wants us to do. And we've got to be willing to make some changes. And it's hard. It's so hard. That's like the thing. Like, it's simple, but it's hard. It's out of our comfort zone. We don't want to do it. But that's why it's easier when you've got friends and when you've got people who are on the same mission working together in a group. So I invite all of you guys to come and join me. I'm so excited about it. And I can't wait to have y'all. And before I close in prayer, I just want to give, you all an opportunity. I know I asked you all to put everything that you were feeling into your painting, and I just now want to give you the opportunity to give everything that you wrote down and thought about during this painting over to God. And it's time to release it and just give it back to him. You don't need to burden yourself with it any longer, and you don't need to keep holding it in, because it's not going to make you any stronger when you hold it in. It just holds you back. So I just encourage you to just release it to him so that you can start to heal. And if you are in a season, maybe it's been difficult and all of this stuff has just kind of rung a bell tonight, and you've been feeling stuck, or you've been feeling lost, or you've been feeling like, I have no idea what it is I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what he wants me to do. Sometimes you don't even feel like you don't understand why you're even here. And that's the enemy trying to deceive you and confuse you. And I just want to give y'all an opportunity tonight to just, whether it's giving your life to Christ for the first time, or whether it's rededicating it to him, I want to give y'all that opportunity through prayer tonight, because it's never too late. And he's all about second chances. He's all about third chances and fourth chances and fifth chances and however many chances we need. Because of that word I told you about earlier, grace, he's got more than enough. And he loves you, and he wants to do something through you. And if he can do something through me, he can do something through you. And if you're still here, he's not done with you yet. So it's time for us to stop being afraid and stand up and rise together and go do this thing for him. We have a Jesus army to build, y'all. We've got a lot of work to do. There's so many people out there who are lost, who need our help. And they're waiting on you to come. You don't even realize it. Like how many people you have waiting on you to come out and show up in their life. You're an answered prayer for somebody. You don't even realize it. Do y'all know how many times, like every single night, I say a prayer and I ask God to bring me the people that he wants me to be in front of. If you're on this and you're watching this right now, whether it's on the live or on the replay, there's a reason you're watching it. You're an answered prayer. So imagine how many people are out there doing that, praying for you to come into their life. And I leave you with this. If they're praying for you to come, but you're not being obedient, then what are they going to do? They're waiting on you. God's waiting on you. You got a role to step into. He's calling you, and he wants to use you. Are you ready to give all this other stuff over to him and receive what he has for you? Because I promise you, it's going to be 1,000 times better than whatever it is that you've got planned for yourself. Promise. So if you're one of these people who needs to rededicate themselves to Christ, you need to come back to him. Or if you want to come to him for the first time, he is here. He is ready for you to receive him. And I just want to give you the opportunity to just say a special prayer and invite him into your heart. And let this be the start of a brand new journey for you. Let's close in prayer, y'all. Dear God, wow, what a powerful night. Thank you so much for every single person who has come across this praise painting tonight, Lord. Please just open their eyes and open their hearts to you, God, and help them to know that this wasn't an accident, that this was absolutely on purpose. God, I just ask that you just reach into the depths of their souls and just help them to know that your grace is sufficient for them, Lord, and that you can do all things, and that they have nothing to fear. They have nothing to prove to anyone else but except for you, Lord. It's time for us to rise up for you. And it's time for us to step up and step into our calling and our purpose that you created for us to do, God. Please give us the courage that we need in order to step into that calling, God. It's so scary and it's so out of our comfort zone, and we don't know what to do with that a lot of the time. And so just please give us the faith and the comfort that we need and the clarity in your vision for us. Please give that to us so that we can step forward and move into it, God. This is all about new beginnings, Lord. We just give all of these things from our past over to you, God, because we don't need it anymore. It's weighed us down long enough. The burden's been heavy long enough. We don't need it anymore. It's serving us no good purpose. Lord, we cast all things that are not of you to the foot of the cross. And we speak the blood of Jesus over our lives, God. We thank you and give you praise for your grace. Lord, if there's anyone out there who just needs to know your presence and needs to know your love and your mercy, we just ask that you let them know right now in this moment. Just help them to know that you're here and that you love them. And it doesn't matter what they've done in the past. And it's not ever too late for them to start now. They're worthy of your forgiveness. They're worthy of your grace. And they're worthy to move forward and help other people for you, God. They can make the change right now. And Lord, we just pray a special prayer for those who need it. Dear God, I'm a sinner in need of a Savior. I believe that you died for me on the cross and that you rose from the grave. I believe that your grace is sufficient and that you love me and have mercy for me. And I believe that I can have new life in you, God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. If anybody prayed that prayer, I'd love for you to comment or message me. I'd love to hear from you, whether it's now or on the replay. Let me know. I would love to pray for you. And I just think that this could definitely be a new beginning for you, a new journey. And that's exactly where it all started for me. I'll leave you with this last little story. 2019, I was at church with my best friends, my two best friends. Went just, expecting to go. And wasn't, expecting anything out of it other than just enjoying being there. Turns out they had baptisms that day and had no idea, like no plans of being baptized. Going through the service, all of a sudden, I can just feel the Holy Spirit moving me and telling me, Dana, if you go do this, this is a new beginning. And it was hard because it was a church that I hadn't been to, hadn't been there before. It's intimidating when you have to walk up in front of people. There's a lot of other people there. Sometimes we're scared. We don't want to do things that are bold and put ourselves out there. But I knew he was telling me to go do it. And he said, this is a new beginning. And so I went up there encouraged. And I remember walking up the steps, and one of the ladies that worked there, she said, this is a new beginning. And that was confirmation from the Lord, because that's exactly what he was telling me. And so when I went down the steps and I accepted God and I was baptized, I could feel all of the stuff that I had carried on me. I felt it come off of me in the water and left it behind. And that's when all of this started for me. That was my new beginning. And that was the start of this journey. And even though things have been hard and have been difficult for me, lots of different times, I've been able to handle it a lot better because I've had that faith and that relationship with Christ ever since. And it's something that makes you unshakable. Doesn't matter how hard the wind blows. Doesn't matter how bad the waves rock you, you've got a sturdy foundation to hold on to when you've got God and the Holy Spirit to guide you. So I hope this has been a powerful night for y'all. I hope that this has encouraged you. I absolutely would love to get to know y'all better in our group, and I invite you to come and join us in the Paint and Persevere Club. The doors are open. Let's get started on this creative, faith-filled journey so that you can heal and step into your purpose, and we can just all do it together. I hope y'all have the most wonderful night. Thank y'all so much for joining me and for praise painting with me. Make sure you post your pictures. I want to see your paintings when you're finished. And I hope that y'all have a blessed night, and I can't wait to see y'all again soon. Love you guys.